I can't wait.
What's up, Purple People podcast fans? Welcome to this week's show. It's going to be a great one. My name is Kyle Smith. I am joined this week by Dorian Foley. What's up, man?
What's going on? What's good, everybody?
He's coming at you from California. Hope everybody's good out there. Hope everybody's staying safe. We understand what's going on in certain parts there. The other handsome fella in this chat. What's up, Kyle West? How you doing, sir?
What? Where? What? Who? What? Me? Hi. How's it going?
I always do that if I'm talking to a lady. They're like, "Oh, I was talking to you," and I'm like, "Anybody? No, that wasn't me." Hold on, I'll go get him for you. What does he look like?
You mean your puppy behind you on the couch?
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
I can't say his name or he'll get up and start bothering me the whole show. But welcome to this week's. Go ahead, dude.
He already did the ear thing. He did the ear thing. He knows you're talking. He can tell.
He's awesome. He's the star of the show. Everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name. Welcome to the Purple People podcast. If you can believe it, we've done 329 episodes up to this point, and this episode is called Find Swiss Cheese because we decided to play like the Vikings last night and beat the Packers. Tied with them week 2, and then the tiebreaker was last night in Minnesota, and we came away with the victories. We're going to talk about that, and I'm super, super excited that we don't have to go through what we went through a week ago talking in this chat. So let's jump right into it.
There is nothing better on a Monday than a Vikings victory. Like, that saves the Monday blues when you can wake up to a Vikings victory.
Yeah, 100%.
Of course.
Yeah, I know the players were happy as I saw Mike Zimmer in the post-game, locker room speech. Gave away a rare game ball to Kirk Cousins, Captain Caucasian, as I call him. He's the whitest son of a bitch I've ever seen. Edward talk. Captain Caucasian. And, he gave the whitest little speech ever. And then he said, "I'll see you on Wednesday." And everybody erupted in the locker room like, oh, my God. Not only did we get a victory Monday, we get a victory Tuesday. So you know what that means. We're going to go into New England this weekend and lose 32 to nothing.
Yeah, we're just going to be flat as shit.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that. But, yeah, it was good. Good little victory. But let's get started with the show. Kyle West has started a little cool thing to give you guys shout-outs because when you like our stuff on Facebook or YouTube or on iTunes, wherever you find us at, we want to give you a shout-out and say thank you for following along. So we have a new little thing we like to do is shout out the people that are the new subscribers, specifically on our YouTube channel. I can see it from you if you don't have it up in front of you. I have it right here. Thank God.
I have a million pop-ups up with the chat and everything, so go for it.
All right, we're going to give a shout-out to our new YouTube subscribers, DC_MemeTix, cool name, and Peter Vargas. Thanks for subscribing to the YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. It seems like everywhere you go on YouTube nowadays for any channel, people are throwing this out there for plugs, but it's kind of mandated now. We got a little following. We're really proud of it. We love everybody in the chat. Kyle will get you updated with the chat and everything, but if you
let's do a shout-out. I want to do a shout out here really quick because we got a lot of cool with us. You can tell it's Vikings Victory Monday just by the amount of people in the chat compared to last week. We got Art Rocha Z is with us, Sean Reynolds, Dave Bay, Alan Atkins, Fire Breather, Kathy. They are all with us in the chat room. I want to thank everyone, as always, for typing in and let you guys know if you have any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk about. Let us know in the live chat, and we will try to get it in and fit it into the show.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool, this little chat that we got going on. We always go back to the day, like Family Guy says, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Remember back when we used to do this on Skype audio and pre-record it and all this stuff? We can go live, up to date. Everybody wants their information like this all the time. Hey, cool. Now we can involve you with it. So if you have something cool or you have a question, we'll throw it in the show, and you can kind of control the show for just a little bit. That's pretty sweet. But we're going to go into our favorite part of the show, Crickets. We got some news and some updates, so let's get into that. If you watched the game last night, it was very scary. At the very end of the game, we saw Xavier Rhodes, our cornerback, our starting #1 corner, go down with a hamstring injury. And then it circulated all day today. Shout out to my boy James. He's in a really cool band called 18 Visions. Was in a band called Burn Halo. They're out of California in the Orange County area. Good rock bands he's been a part of. He's my go-to guy for music, and he's a super hard Bears fan. And he's like, man, your boy might be done for the season, and we're talking about Xavier Rhodes, but Mike Zimmer put that to rest. There's a lot of skeptics and a lot of premeditated answers out there today, but he says the injury sustained by corner Xavier Rhodes is apparently very, very mild. He didn't provide an official diagnosis, but it appeared to be soft tissue related, and it's not a sprain, and it's not a broken bone, anything like that. So that's good to hear. Maybe he'll miss a game or two, but at least his season's not over with, so that's good.
Hey, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope he's able to play on Sunday. If it's very very mild, I think that would be best case scenario. It looked bad. I know all of us in the live chat it was an oh no moment when Rhodes,
Yep.
Pulling on the back of the leg, like Jake said in the chat, a deep cramp or something. Let's hope it's something minor, and that's not just like coach speak from Mike Zimmer trying to do the thing where he doesn't want to talk about injuries or whatnot.
I'm hoping that it's mild too. I'm hoping that he can play this Sunday, but at the same time, knowing the history of Xavier Rhodes and injuries and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play this Sunday or if he even misses this game as well as, the following weeks as well. But, I'm saying, obviously hope for the best for him. And, hey, hopefully he can come back and be back on the field as soon as possible.
For sure.
Yeah, we hope so because we've got 2 road games. We're going to travel the country abroad. We're going to New England this Sunday, next Sunday or Monday. It might be Monday Night Football. Let me pull up the schedule here. But the next week after that, we are going to Seattle, which has always been a pain in the ass for this team of recent years. And we need him. You guys remember when was it? Earlier in the season, Mike Hughes tore his ACL, so there's a corner that was down. He had a lot of promise. So we know it'll be Trey Waynes, Mackenzie Alexander. I think Holton Hill could step in a little bit. If we have to start reaching down to the Marcus Sherrills of the group, it's going to be a shitty day for our pass defense. So Xavier, get well. We hope that you'll recover fast for our sake. But it sounds good. That's better than the horrible news that we had thought about earlier today. Unfortunately, for the next quick hit, we do have to talk about a player who's not going to be back this season, who showed us a little bit of promise. Not a lot of playing time, but Chad Beebe was a little bright spot. We were super happy for him to make the squad and move up. He injured his hamstring last week in practice. He's probably going to end the season on IR. So that's super heartbreaking. The injury bug is showing its ugly head late in the season for us. But best of luck to Chad Beebe. If he is out with the hamstring now, he'll be ready to go by training camp next year. So if that be the worst case, so we'll see what happens there. We'll keep you updated here for sure. Really like Chad Beebe, though. He was cool. Made some clutch catches in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think everyone is everyone's a fan of Chad Beebe. I don't think I've seen a Vikings fan that's not a fan of him. He's just got that. He's kind of got that same story of that Adam Thielen has. It just makes you want to pull for the guy. It makes you want to like him. Plus, from what we've seen of him in preseason, he was out there making some really darn good plays for the Vikings. So yeah, it's a shame. You don't want to see anyone get hurt. I wish he could have, continued on for the season, but it happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, I kind of joke around. I call Chad Beebe Adam Thielen light, just because I see he has that same potential as Adam Thielen. Going forward, man, like I'm looking forward to him continue to be with us and to continue. He has that potential to flourish. So I wish him a speedy recovery. And hey, man, get yourself right and get back out there when you can.
We got us a couple good chat questions. Let's do roundtable really quick and get to a couple of these. Kathy wants to know, and I'm going to talk more about this in depth a little bit later on with my donkey for the week. Do we have a problem with the kicker, holder, or long snapper? That is her question. Personally, I think, and we will be talking about this more when we get to the donkey, I'm sure. I think a lot of the blame is on the holder. I'll talk about that a little bit more later on, but that's my answer.
I concur. I'll agree with you. I would say the holder, because
it wasn't
that Dan Bailey was inaccurate or just like, oh, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Yeah, pretty much. The ball was going in whatever direction based on the lack of. I mean, I'm not a football expert, but yeah, that hold looked pretty soft. Like it looked pretty like okay.
Pretty suspect. Yeah. What do you think, Smith? Kicker or holder? Who do you put the blame on?
I put a mixture of both. Got to hold Dan Bailey accountable. Yeah. He's the second most accurate kicker in history, supposedly, and he's missed quite a few this year. Not enough to get cut like a Blair Walsh or Daniel Carlson, but not those guys. But I wonder if he's not fully what he used to be. I don't think so. He's a younger guy. Obviously, there was enough for the Cowboys to say, we don't need you, we're going to move on. But, yeah, I do think there's a little bit with the holder too. When you miss super wide, I can blame it on the kicker, but when it's really close, I start to wonder how the placeholder does. So I give a little bit of both. I'd like to see both of them keep working on their craft. It sounds to me like it's Matt Weil, though, the holder, because Mike Zimmer is talking about in the press conference that he nails every kick every week during practice. And he's had experience. He's super accurate. So that tells me that the punter needs to do a little bit better job. That's just me.
Scott Schwartz says the Xavier Rhodes needs to drink more water. That's what his doctor tells him. Anytime he goes in for a checkup, just drink more water. So Correct. There you go. There you go. Pro advice from our chat room there.
That's what the military doctors say. Oh, your arm is broken? Here's some ibuprofen. Have a good day. I like that.
Sounds like there's some experience behind that one.
No comment. All right, I'm going to get into this one.
You're not allowed to talk about that.
I am not allowed to say anything bad, and I would never do that about Uncle Sam, ever.
We don't have G14 classification.
Neither do I. I'm a peon, sir. Fresh off of their 24-17 victory last night against the Packers in the 117th border battle, the Vikings would be the 5th seed if the playoffs started right now. This is the seeding so far. The number 1 seed would be the Saints at 10-1. The Rams are number 2 at 10-1. The Bears are 3 at 8-3, and the Cowboys have taken over the NFC East with their recent streak of wins at 6-5. The Vikings are at number 5 with 6-4-1, and then the Redskins would be the last wild card spot at 6-4. This should be noted that the Panthers have slid out of there because they are in a downward spiral. They lost to Seattle yesterday. They now hold Seattle holds the tiebreaker from the head on, and the Redskins also beat the Panthers. So I don't believe that the Panthers are going to make the playoffs. When earlier in the year they looked pretty good, they still have to play the Saints twice at the end of the year, and it doesn't look too good for them. I think they shot themselves in the foot yesterday. But the Vikings are holding strong at number 5. And, yeah, I think we're going to squeeze in this year, guys. If we can keep it together, we have the 5th hardest schedule for the rest of the year. We are at New England this Sunday. We're at Seattle the following Monday night football game. And then we also have to play the Bears again. But this next time, the last game of the year, it'll be in Minnesota. So I like our chances there. But
man, it's dumbass coach speak. It's dumbass coach speak, and I hate it. But the Vikings really just got to win 1 week at a time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I hate that answer, but that's really all that they can control and all that they can do.
Yeah, I don't like that thing, and I know Dorian and yourself agree. We don't like that whole, if the Panthers lose, and then don't worry about the other teams. It's the same thing that the team is saying.
Right.
Who gives a shit about what the other guys are doing? Just win your games. You know what? I've seen this team play in recent years, and this year too. We've lost some weird ones where football happened, like the Buffalo Bills game. But if you look at our losses, the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 seed after the Buffalo game gets pushed to the side, that's pretty good. I won't say that we've beaten anyone special yet, but we have an opportunity, and it's going to suck because we're on the road. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings beat the Patriots Sunday. I damn sure wouldn't be surprised if we beat the Seahawks. I think we'll compete very well in both games, but just can't shoot yourself in the foot. I think that's like the underlying theme. What do you guys think in the chat, too, while you're listening? Is the underlying theme of this year, we're okay, we're a little bit less than what we thought we could be, a little bit less than our expectations, but the realistic reason why we have 4 losses is because we fucked ourselves over, pretty much. Excuse my French. We've shot ourselves in the foot at inopportune times against good teams. I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the reason why we've struggled a little bit this year. I don't put it all on Kirk. I don't put it all on the defense. Everybody's made their struggles, and I think it was just mistakes at the wrong time. That's another cliche thing. Wow, it sounds really coach speak there too, like Kyle was talking about. But I think that's why we've had some struggles this year. But it seems like, knock on wood, we're figuring it out at the right time. And you can get hot. If you get hot in December, just whatever. I like Aaron Rodgers' thing that he said too. Hey, you just got to make it in. All right, you just got to get in the playoffs. Anything can happen after that. So we'll see.
I like this comment from Sean. I like this comment from Sean Reynolds. We need to get the killer instinct and put teams away. We let them hang around too much. That is 100% accurate about this team.
Yes.
Whether it be poor clock management or coaching or whatever, they are letting teams stick around far longer than what they should. Turnovers and poor offensive line play calling have hurt us. That was from Paul Gruber. I agree with that statement as well, too, Paul.
That's true.
We got a question about Matt Khalil. Does anyone know how he's doing for the Panthers? Did he get hurt?
Could not give two shits less how Matt Khalil is doing.
Exactly.
I'm going to Google it because you asked, and I love everybody that watches this show, but Matt Khalil can go for himself. All right.
Yeah.
And I try not to hang on with grudges and stuff, you know. I've done that good in my personal life since my sons came around. But
see,
good.
Here's another
God.
Here's another great point that Scott brought up. We're kind of in a semi-rebuild this year with a new offensive coordinator and a 3-year contract with a new quarterback in Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I agree with you, Scott. I mean, I think obviously they want to win this season. Every team does, and they have a good defense and whatnot. But yeah, the whole fact that, you know, Kirk has got this big 3-year contract is that there was the window that they're trying to build around him for. And I think you do got to expect a little bit of I guess, a learning curve with all of the pieces that they brought in.
This is on Panthers.com. This is my hometown team. Back in Carolina, on September 2nd of this year at 4:45 p.m., Matt Khalil was placed on injured reserve. Khalil experienced soreness during training camp, played the first 2 preseason games. A few days after the second game against the Dolphins, he consulted with James Andrews, the famous doctor in Florida, underwent arthroscopic procedures. In order to make him eligible, he has to return after 8 games. They said, we were putting Matt on injured reserve to keep him fully rehabbed on this knee. Their general manager said, we decided to move on or to make the move now because he will be eligible to come back after 8 games. Okay, I guess.
Hey, whatever, not my.
I don't wish injury upon the guy whatsoever. That's just super douchey and not classy. But it just, after all the comments and stuff that he made about us and being kind of like a sore little loser, whatever, dude. Move on. Stop being a little bitch about stuff. How can you be that big of a man but be that soft? I just don't understand. It's like Kevin Durant. Like, dude, come on, man. Why are you so soft?
Jimmy Butler.
I don't know if he's soft.
He's not soft.
No, yeah, I don't think he's soft.
He's a douchebag, though.
He's a dick.
Man.
Oh, he's definitely a dick.
A total douche. Yeah.
He's definitely a dick, but I could definitely see him like going into if you got in a bar fight, he'd be got to back you up, and Kevin Durant would be out in your car waiting and be like, dude, where'd you go? I'm just pooping on all these big name athletes now because I'm just an armchair podcaster right now. I'm really not this douchey most of the time, guys. Sorry. Only on Mondays. All right. On Tuesday, Vikings receiver Stephon Diggs and Land O'Lakes provided their helping hands for a donation of 1,000 turkeys, macaroni and cheese, and mac and cheese and butter in an insulated grocery bag for Thanksgiving. That's super cool. So Thanksgiving was last week. We'll go over that in a little bit, but that's cool, man. And why not have like your star guy to do it too? That's really cool.
Yeah. Diggs did this last year where he gave out a bunch of turkeys for Thanksgiving, and this year they partnered with Land O'Lakes to add apparently macaroni and cheese and butter to the mix. Sure, why not? I guess I've never had macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving before. That's a new thing to me. I don't.
You never had mac and cheese on Thanksgiving?
You've never had macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving?
No, is this a thing? Someone back me up in the
everyone
chat.
In the chat at Tell Kyle West he hasn't lived.
Yeah, no, macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving is not a thing. You have like turkey and ham and all of that shit, but not fucking.
That's not
whatever.
True.
What are we talking?
Macaroni and cheese, Kyle. Come on now.
That's not true, man. I've had it a lot. Obviously you got to have a turkey, the traditional stuff being like sweet potatoes, stuffing, stuff like that, mashed potatoes if you like that. But you got to bring side dishes. We're not even getting into dessert right now. But side dishes, mac and cheese is an awesome side dish. And hey, spoiler alert, you can put it on top of your turkey, and it's amazing.
Okay, I've never done that.
You're getting into some weird territory. You're getting into
hey, look,
ketchup.
I'm living in 3018. You guys, get out there.
This is like ketchup on scrambled eggs territory that you're getting into right now.
I put sriracha in my scrambled eggs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Spoiler.
Sriracha
sriracha sauce is amazing. All right, I'm going to tell you this now that we're on the Thanksgiving train. We're going to wait. I'm just going to tell you what I did for Thanksgiving real quick. Hopefully, you guys in the chat tell Kyle that he's missing out. I'm hoping I'm not like alone on the island with Dorian for this one about the mac and cheese. But I recently. I have a class on the ground here. You guys know I'm a canine instructor down here in El Paso for the military. And, we got guys here that are away from their family and friends and all that fun stuff. So I volunteered. My son's not here. I'm not, wifed up, booed up, anything like that. I was like, hey, if you guys give me the money, I'll go out and get catering for you. Yeah, I'm not wifed up out here. I have no obligations in that department. So I'll go get you guys catering. Just, pay for the food. I'll go get it. I'll deliver it. Make sure you guys get a good Thanksgiving meal. So I did that. And, of course, I got a plate, too. I don't charge for gas. Just feed me. Pretty simple like that. But I put sweet potatoes. They're, kind of crunched up whatever they had in there. Kind of like mashed potatoes, just sweet potatoes. I put that with my turkey. Hands down, the best Thanksgiving combination I've ever had together at one time. I thought the mac and cheese on the turkey was good. But the sweet potatoes with the turkey, nothing holds to that. That's absolutely number one.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good.
It's pretty amazing, and I'm getting hungry thinking about it. Well, we're already there. If you guys want to tell us how your Thanksgiving was, that'd be great.
By the way, Paul is on my side. He's in my side in the chat about never having macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving.
Hey, well, tell Paul I said that he needs to get on board, just like you, Mr. Webb.
I'm good. Well, what's our next Vikings-related topic?
Laquan Treadwell. Let's go from one thing to one extreme to the other.
Segue.
Kyle West put this in here because it's just a random stat thrown in these notes. Laquan Treadwell has 6 drops this season, and 4 of them came up against the Packers per ESPN stats and information. Which, hey, this is a perfect segue to ask you guys, and I'm not going to talk about it in the chat, but go check out our social media question after the show, all right? It pertains to Laquan Treadwell. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
We're actually going to have one. We're actually going to have one this week.
Yeah, I'm taking full credit for that and the title this week because Adam's gone and we have to adult and figure the shit out while he's gone. But the social media question for this week going into next week's show pertains to Laquan Treadwell and someone else. That's all I'm going to say. So you guys go check it out on Facebook.
David Hickey just typed in Laquan sucks.
I won't say that he sucks, but I will say that he's been majorly disappointing.
Yeah, his time is up.
Yeah.
For a first-round draft pick, he is not very good.
I told one of my friends there, shout out to my friend Casey. He's a diehard Redskins fan. I feel for him with Alex Smith going down with that gruesome foot injury. He said it today, and I'm going to start a debate about this later. We can do it in the chat now because why not? We're like wild dogs chasing cars when Adam's not here. But we're talking. I said, we don't have a very good history with wide receivers. Patterson didn't work out. Percy Harvin was a cancer. Now we got Laquan Treadwell. Like, if we could just wait till the later rounds, we seem to do better there. Jarius Wright, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, undrafted. We just don't have a really good rep of these first-round wide receivers.
Now, I say this every year when we talk about, like, draft time. Unless you have Randy Moss or Julio Jones in front of you, don't take a receiver in the first round because every kid that plays high school football wants to play quarterback or wide receiver. And you find a wide receiver that'll come off from it. Like, address other positions. You can snag a Stephon Diggs in the 5th round and be totally fine. You'd be totally fine.
And let's just ask around the table, minus Adam Thielen, because, we had that argument earlier. Obviously, he's dropped off just a little bit with the last 2 games before yesterday. But who's the best receiver in the NFL? Who do you think of?
Okay, you said besides Adam Thielen?
Yeah, I think he's in the conversation for top 5. I don't think he's the best, but I think that he's definitely in the top 5. And it's not just one of those, like, fluky years. Like, you remember when Josh Gordon was the leading receiver in the NFL, and then he just kind of like, hey, could you stop smoking weed all the time so you can have a job? Not like that. these are the consistent guys. Adam Thielen's finally getting his name up there. If you ask me, if I had to pick one that's going to be clutch no matter what all the time, I'm going with DeAndre Hopkins. That's just me. But I would expect an Antonio Brown or a Julio Jones. All those three that I mentioned there, and even OBJ, all those guys that I mentioned there, -1, they're all a first-round pick. If you don't see a Julio Jones or an Odell Beckham or DeAndre Hopkins jumping out at you saying, hey, stupid, you can't mess this up, go get those. But if they're not like that, it's a risk. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Antonio Brown's the underlier there. I think he was like a 3rd or a 5th as well, and he's stupid good. But he has like a Diggs, Thielen kind of thing. He worked his way up and just perfected his craft and got better. But I don't know. I just want to throw that out there.
Now, if you look at the way the two players play on the field, and you were to compare like Diggs against Treadwell, you would think that Treadwell was a 5th-round draft pick and Diggs was a 1st-round talent.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, now that we're here, let's just talk about it because my friend, I was telling about Casey, he said it today. He said that Diggs is our number 1 receiver. And I said, how do you figure? And he said, well, the number 1 corner is covering him. I was like, the Vikings offensive game plan, it's none of our business what the other team does. If they're stupid enough to line up their number 1 corner, and I'm not saying this against Diggs, like it's not like I'm saying, oh, they put their number 1 corner on Treadwell. What an idiot. We understand that Diggs is very, very good. I was like, but how do you figure he's the best receiver? He's like, well, Adam Thielen only goes up against the number 2. I was like, I just watched him make a catch last night that he had no business making on Green Bay's number 1 receiver. What are you talking about?
I think that Thielen, and I honestly think this, Thielen and Diggs are 1A and 1B receiver for Minnesota, and if you were to split these two apart and put them on separate teams, they would have success, but they really need each other on the field. They work so well together with one another and play off of each other's strengths so well that if you separate them, I don't think that they have the same success individually as what they do lined up together on the field. So I say Diggs and Thielen are 1A and 1B for Minnesota. They just complement each other so well and can play off of each other so well on the field.
I just looked at CBS.com, and it does have Adam Thielen listed, and so does ESPN. Well, no, they had it set up differently. Diggs, Zylstra, Thielen, Treadwell, Beebe, Robinson. Why the hell is Aldridge Robinson below Laquan Treadwell? God, that makes no sense. That's fine. Whatever. It's okay.
Only because simply that Laquan Treadwell has been a Viking longer than him. That's the only reason.
It must be.
Aldridge Robinson came off the street, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, you want to play some football? Sure, buddy, why not? Let me get a uniform. And then came in and just immediate impact. While Laquan Treadwell has steady just picked his ass for whatever. Don't give me I hope he's not on the team next year.
You guys go ahead and get Dorian Foley a Treadwell jersey for Christmas. He really, really wants one.
Happy, joy.
All right, I'm moving along this, and this is a good ammo to use because I'm going to text my buddy right now and tell him that Adam Thielen's Pro Football Focus grade of 91.2 is the best among all wide receivers currently. So I guess that settles the debate.
Bingo, bango. He's pretty good.
You put this in here, didn't you, Kyle? I wish you could find me.
Yeah.
I wish you could find me Diggs and tell me where he's at, just for comparison.
Yeah, I wish I could too. But I don't pay for Pro Football Focus.
That is very true.
So I rely on other people to tweet the information.
Pretty good. I'm texting this right now. 91.2 overall grade, which is ... shocking. Spoiler alert. Number 1 overall in the NFL.
Nice.
Wow. All right, that's awesome. I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. Let's move along. Oh, man, this is good. Mike Zimmer said teams are really zeroing in on Thielen and Diggs, leaving chances for others like Cook and Rudolph. Zimmer said when Cook gets in space, he's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. No, he's really, really good. He just had the fastest recorded time of the season among any player. It's like, he's pretty good. You know what I've come to find out? Mike Zimmer is Red Foreman from That 70 Show. That's it. That's who he is. He's the real life Red Foreman from That 70 Show. Oh, man, Kyle, we're moving last quick hit. Kyle just put this in here to be a jerk, and it's super funny. Green Bay now only has a 3% chance of making the playoffs after their loss on Sunday night.
Blow, Packers, blow. Go on home. Your season's over.
That's awesome.
3%. This is where someone posts that meme from Dumb and Dumber, like, there's still a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Good job, guys.
Nope. No chance.
That's what you got.
No chance in hell.
Mystic, man. Mystic, I love it.
Someone good with computer editing should do like a GIF of the Vince McMahon power walk, only with Mike Zimmer's face over top of Vince. That would be amazing.
Douchey, cocky walk, man. How can you forget that?
That's the best thing. I did that when I graduated high school, like across the stage, like the Vince McMahon power strut. Come on.
That's awesome.
Why not, man? You could go for it.
I'm going to spoil this one because I want to read this. Kyle, I'm still in your segment this week just because I love it so much. So we're talking about Mike Zimmer, and he's like, he's pretty good. Kyle West does a Mike Zimmer quote of the week, and this is the best thing I've ever heard again. The question from the media was, do you take a lot of pride in having a top 3 ranked defense? And his answer was, I take pride in wins. If it helps us win games, I'm good. God, you grumpy old bastard. I swear.
He's so good. He hates the media so much. It's such a waste of his time.
You know what my favorite was after the bye was my absolute favorite. He came in, he's like, he's just all smiling too. You could tell he's going to say something sarcastic. He's like smiling. He's like, it's been 9 whole days. Did you miss me? And they're like, and he's like, I thought about you a lot. And then just like this awkward pause, and like, you're an asshole, man.
Well, I mean, if you had to field questions from some of the people that he has to, you'd get that way pretty darn quick.
Yeah. I mean, because they ask like asinine questions. I think Coach really wants to engage. He really wants to, talk football. But, it just seems like somebody has to pull something dumb out their butt. And it's like, okay, you're giving him ammunition. He's going to say something. But yet and still, week after week after week. So, hey, I think they're entertained with them, quite frankly. But, hey, don't stop, because we keep on having segments like this week after week where we can just get a good-ass laugh out of it.
It's just funny to me that you have a preference. It's not just Zimmer being cold and, angry and stubborn and hard and all that. It's basic stuff. John Harbaugh talked about it. They're like, all right, Lamar Jackson's lighting it up. Shout out to Lamar Jackson for doing his thing, right? Because he's, Joe Flacco's got an injury. He's going to get Alex Smith now.
Oh.
He's going to get Alex Smith. Go ahead. Sorry.
Someone posted in the chat the Pro Football wide receiver rankings. So Thielen is number 1. Diggs is number 8. That's pretty cool. Now. So it goes Adam Thielen, Odell Beckham, Antonio Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, who I wanted drafted in Minnesota, Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, T.Y. Hilton, and Juju Smith-Schuster at number 10.
Nice.
I'm going to text that to my buddy. Right here in a second. I'm trying to double multitask right now. It's not working. Damn it, iPhone. Do your job. All right. Yeah, we were talking about Mike Zimmer. It's not because he's just got to be a hard ass all the time. It's just what I was saying with John Harbaugh. They're asking him, is Lamar Jackson going to start this week? It's like, why would I give them an advantage, the other team he was talking about? Why would I give them that advantage and give it to you? If you – it's a golden rule. It's just like the military. Hey, man, can you give me your schedule and tell me what you guys do on a daily basis? How about a big bowl of F you and go F yourself? No, I'm not going to give you the sensitive information because you'll use it against me. No, it's the same thing. I just don't get it, man. I've always loved that cool thing about reporting, but there's very few people who do it in a way that I can actually find it interesting and I can actually get behind it. They all seem like vultures to me, man. The media just, they get on my nerves.
I personally don't think they should require head coaches to meet with the media for these arbitrary press sessions. once a week or whatever they do. I think after the game is acceptable, but just to pull Mike Zimmer in on a random ass Monday and be like, "Hey, Mike, how are you this week?" Like what that doesn't do anyone any good.
What I would like is just to have a day, I wouldn't even talk about football, honestly. I just want to, well, I probably would, but just to see what he's like. What do you like to do in your off time, man? Like, what is it that you like to do in your off time? Hunt, act a fool, go fishing,
Paul,
red wine. We know red wine's on there.
Yeah. Paul Allen has had him on K-Fan before, and they talk a lot about hunting and fishing and just like life stuff in general. And Zimmer is cool. He's a pretty down-to-earth, cool guy when he's just talking about like normal stuff. It's when people ask him dipshit questions that he can't answer that you get these kinds of responses from, and I don't blame him.
I'm trying to go through the chat and find these free stats that you gave me here. I want to get this list out. Baked mac and cheese, where it's at.
It should be down towards the bottom. Scott Schwab was the one that posted the link.
Oh, he posted a link?
Yes. Hey, Zimmer, did you do your Christmas shopping yet?
That's a good one. Mm-hmm. All right, man, let's get into this game. We told you about it. I'll give you the box score here. Green Bay. What was amazing about this game is the Vikings didn't rush a lot. They only used their 4, and they dropped back in coverage, which I love the best about beating Aaron Rodgers because everybody likes to say, oh, he can scramble, he can do this. It's like, nah, dude, beat us through the air. You couldn't get it done. 17 points. The Vikings had no turnovers, which is amazing. But we won 24-17. And, we had a couple things go our way, which is great. But we'll get into all that in a second. Let's do our game balls and donkeys. I give my game ball to Mr. Kirk Cousins. He outperformed Aaron Rodgers in a very big way. 3 touchdowns, no picks, QBR of 75.5, overall rating of 129.5, 29-38, 342 yards on the day, averaging almost 10 yards a pass was 9. So almost 10 yards per pass. Pretty sweet. This is the way we need him to play from here on out. No more of that bullshit against the Bears and crappy games like against the Lions. None of these Hail Mary throws into triple coverage. Just be efficient and do your thing. So, shout out Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins was paid a lot of money to come to Minnesota to win football games like this. Like you have to be. It's required that you beat the Packers at home. That's why we gave you a lot of money. You just have to do the making improved. He did much better on maybe not trying to make the big play, but making the smart play. And you've seen him, run around a little bit. He's more athletic than I think what people give him credit for. I like that. He needs to continue to do that. My game ball could go to Linval Joseph, who is an absolute monster. He just eats people alive when he's out there on the field. I love Linval Joseph. I am going to go with another one on the defensive line. I'm going to give mine to Shelton Richardson, who is quietly amazing. He's having a great season for the Vikings this year. I don't know if we'll be able to re-sign him. There's a lot of players that are going to need a lot of money, and I don't know if they will be able to bring him back or not. But I think Shelton has got his career back on track for the Vikings, and he had what? He had 2 sacks, like what Scott said in the chat. I think that it was a good performance from him.
Kyle West, you jive ass mofo. That was my game ball as well.
I knew it as soon as you said it. I was like, Dorian's isn't in here. I wonder who he picked. Well, never mind.
There's nothing more for me to add. Mr. West, you basically laid everything out there, man. He came to play yesterday. He came to play yesterday, and I believe like his second sack, like Aaron Rodgers, the camera, I don't know if you guys remember, but the camera just followed Aaron Rodgers' face as he was getting up, just the expression on Aaron's face. I don't know if you remember that. He just looked like, oh my God, are you serious right now? Like, yeah. Aaron Rodgers looked defeated. As great as Aaron Rodgers is, our defense took something away, his spirit away from him or something, because he wasn't normal. I know.
I said it in the chat, and I was half joking when I was talking to it talking to my dad about it as well too. But like, Aaron Rodgers kind of has this look like, I'm done. He's just done in Green Bay. Like, he's standing on the sidelines like, where do I want to play next season? Because it ain't here. I don't know. I don't know if it matters if they fire the head coach. I think that he feels disrespected. I think he wants to move on to a franchise that will put immediately. And I think he's done in Green Bay.
I don't think he's going anywhere because he signed that big extension. I will say this. I'm going to give my Aaron Rodgers take right now. He's one of the best, if not the best quarterback I've ever watched play. He's got the athleticism, not as good, but still there as, back in the day. We look at Steve Young, Joe Montana getting around. He's everything Cam wishes he could be, but he's not Cam's size, which is crazy because Cam's pretty much a DN playing. But he's got the smarts of a Tom Brady. He's got the touch and the accuracy of a Drew Brees. He's just got everything you want. And I'll tell you what, if there's any time I'm watching a game, it doesn't matter if it's the Vikings and the Packers or if it's whoever versus the Packers. If they're down by a touchdown or they're down by a field goal and there's 45 seconds left or a minute and a half, I'm putting my money that he's going to win the damn game because he's that good. But my question to everybody is, why is it when he pulls a rabbit out of his ass, and sometimes it's in the playoffs, mainly against the Cowboys as of recent, but why is it when he pulls a rabbit out of his ass like week one after getting hurt or the playoffs against the Cowboys or whatever, he's the greatest of all time, there's no discussion, blah, blah, blah. Like there's a Hail Mary against a shitty Detroit team and he's the savior. But when they get their ass beat and they can't win 6 road games this year, it's Mike McCarthy. It's because they have a bad GM. They got a bad defense. They got a bad roster. Why is that always a thing? I'm not with it. The Vikings are 5-1-1 against them the last 7 games that they played them. I understand that he wasn't in it for a game and a half last year. I get it. We won the division with Teddy fucking Bridgewater at quarterback. And I don't care. You guys are going to hate me for it. I don't think Teddy was that great. Looking back on it, I think we were all a little bit drinking the Kool-Aid. He was all right. Love the guy's spirit. But he's not Drew Brees. He's not Ben Roethlisberger. We won the division with Teddy Bridgewater and beat them in Green Bay. We beat them with Sam Bradford. God knows how that went. We beat them with Case Keenum. Now we beat them with Kirk Cousins. What is it going to take for them to finally say, you know what? I think he's on the decline, man. Or I
will say this. Colin Cowherd called him out and has been calling him out the past couple weeks. That exact same everything that you just said. He has been calling Rodgers out.
Yeah, but I can't listen to him because in 2 weeks, if they go on a winning spree, he'll be like, "Yeah, I told you guys, he's the greatest of all time. He's doing it with nothing. He's going to change his opinion again because he's an idiot."
Yes.
Oh, that is also true.
Because
I don't get it.
He did the same thing with us. You would have swore, signing Kirk Cousins, it was like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yep.
And then, like, after a couple of weeks or whatever, then all of a sudden he flipped on us, and it was just nothing but negative. It was just like, whatever, dude. Like, Colin Cowherd, every time I try to give him a chance, I'm going to listen to him. He seems like he's pretty entertaining. Once I invest, then it's just like, rip the rug underneath me.
Yeah. Well, I guess Dorian, you remember when he called all us wrestling fans booger eaters, and then he just totally hates wrestling fans, and then he's had wrestlers on his podcast, and guess what? All of a sudden, it's like all this knowledge that you can tell that he used to watch back when he was a kid too comes out, and it's like, well, I thought that you hated all of us.
It's the same kind of thing. If you watch him with Baker Mayfield earlier in the year, he'll shit on Baker Mayfield every chance he gets, but he brought him on the show. Baker kept his calm, was very poised, and just fed him the business for 20 minutes. And it was awesome because you could watch him backtracking and be like, oh, well, I didn't mean it like this. Like, well, how did you mean it, man? Because all you do is talk shit about the kid. You don't like him because of a mistake he made. I don't like the guy. I think he's very pretentious and very judgy, and he's stupid. And he's one of those assholes that gives out vegan candy at Halloween. Stop it.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to say about yourselves. Yeah, just stop it. That's all I need to know about you. My Ron Swanson's going to come out here, and I'm going to start judging you, Cowherd. But, yeah, that's cool. I just wanted to ask people what they thought because I'm not taking away from how good we know he's been, but I don't know. There's a fine line to walk there. I do think Mike McCarthy is pretty much done there. I think it's about time. I think it's about 2-3 years too late. But sucks for you. Sorry, Packer fans. Not my problem. Figure it out. You got one of the best quarterbacks to ever play.
Hey, guys, what if they trolled the fuck out of Aaron Rodgers and brought Brett Favre in to be the coach? How amazing would that be?
I don't think he would do it, but God, that'd be funny.
That would be amazing.
And then find an excuse, whatever, after like one game, like in a season opener, like if Rodgers does like one thing, oh, hey, let me show you how it's done, and then he comes out of retirement.
We should
that
start
would
that
be
petition.
So good. Yeah, making the quarterbacks coach.
Oh my God.
All right, this one's going everywhere. That's so good. We'll get that started. Going back to these game balls and donkeys, Adam Carlson's not with us because he is out tonight and he has super cool plans. I forget what he's going to see, but he's at a show of some sort. So he kind of just gave us a green light to try to figure this out tonight. So hope he's having fun right now. He gave his game ball to Stephon Diggs. Diggs has not dropped a single pass in 2018. His 79 receptions are among the most wide receivers without a drop. That's a pretty crazy stat. That's insane to me. I know there's been some overthrows, but there's nothing that's hit Stephon Diggs in the hands that he hasn't dropped or hasn't held on to. That's crazy. And we were just talking about earlier how fucking Laquan Treadwell has 6 this season and 4 of them are against the Packers. Like, oh, man. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. It turns out Diggs is pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right at this football stuff.
You guys didn't know. Yeah.
I want to look this up real fast because I know we're going to have it here. Let's go to the stats on the season. He's at 790 receiving yards. So we have 5 games left. I'm pretty sure he can get 210 yards in 5 games. He's going to break 1,000 yards this year, barring some weird injury, which we're not going to talk about because it's not going to happen. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Got a touchdown in the last 3 games.
I'll kick off my donkey this week. I'm going to go with the holder, the punter. What's his name?
Matt Weil.
Matt Weil. I'm like Mike Zimmer. I don't know the special teams guys anymore. You know, the punter, that guy, the kicker, that guy, whatever.
Good God.
We've been trying to figure out what exactly has been wrong with the Vikings special teams. And Daniel Carlson was probably not good, but I don't think he was as bad as what happened. I don't know what happened to him, but he couldn't have been as bad as what his stint in Minnesota ended up becoming. They brought in a veteran. The veteran kicker, Dan Bailey's doing pretty good overall. There have been some terrible holds, I think, that have caused balls to curve and go all over the weird trajectories. You look at them, and they're flipping around and unusual. They look more like punts at times, and that comes from your holder. I don't know. I agree with what Jake says in the chat. I think Prefer is going to be gone after this year. What that means for the rest of the specialists, I don't know, but I think they need to work on that trio as a whole needs to work together all off season and to perfect this whole thing. I think it was a mistake to switch the punter out right before the season, especially when we had the rookie in Daniel Carlson. I was just not a fan of. You've worked with him all through training camp with the old punter Quigley, and then right before the season starts, you switch him out and you put a new piece in that wasn't fair to him. I think that was part of his struggles as well, too. It is 50-50. The kicker is the one kicking it. I think that Dan Bailey has done a decent job overall of overcoming struggles with the special teams unit. That's kind of my little rant about the Vikings special teams, I guess.
That's how you really feel, sir. No, it's fine. I get it.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, Daniel Carlson is actually doing his thing in Oakland right now. I think he's only missed like 1, maybe 2 field goals, but
I don't want to hear that.
I don't know his exact numbers, but he's actually, yeah.
I don't want to hear that at all. That pisses me off to no avail.
I'm not trying to piss you off, sir. I'm just saying.
Not you. I'm happy for the guy because they crucified him. They crucified him, and it was justified. Do your damn job, and we have an extra win this season, and we would have to go to overtime.
They needed to cut him. Like, that needed to happen. But I still feel bad for Carlson. He got put into a shitty situation. I think he should have spent a full year in the practice squad before being called up to, regular season duties. But I don't know. What do I know? Again, we're just podcast people. But
we're the experts. Duh. Dorian, who's your donkey this week?
I feel bad because he came up injured, but my hard donkey is Xavier Rose.
I don't feel bad about that at all.
Devontae Adams was basically like smacking his ass the entire game, like for real, like it was just roads closed. You know what I'm saying? That's his trademark and signature. Well, all the roads was like wide ass open for Devontae Adams, and it was just like nothing. He just came up short, man. He came up short. I just don't know. Like Xavier Rose to me overall, he hasn't been great overall this season. I just felt that he could have had a better showing. I mean, and it sucks that once again he came up with that hamstring or that muscle injury, but yeah. That's my dog.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about you saying that. We've seen it. We've seen it at times. It's weird because a couple years ago, he would go up against Antonio Brown, 60 yards, no touchdown. Julio Jones, 29 yards. Odell Beckham, 21 yards. It hasn't went that way this year. Michael Thomas made him look bad. Devontae Adams was making him look bad. Everybody looked bad against the Rams, so we don't have to talk about that game. But yeah, I don't get it. He's just not having his kind of year right now.
It's tough to put up career numbers every single year. Maybe I'm defending the guy a little too much. I don't know, but
you're good. I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he can get back on track. Yeah, I don't know.
He will. I'm not super worried about it.
In case you're wondering, as the old JR would say, there's a slobber knocker for Monday Night Football. This boring ass game. Houston is up in the AFC South on the Tennessee Titans, 10-21. Houston right now. Demaryius Thomas scored his first touchdown as a Texan, so that's cool.
Good for him.
Good for him. Could not give a shit less about that game.
I thought Marcus Mariota was supposed to be like the next big thing at quarterback in the NFL.
He's like questionable to play every single week. I don't know. Isn't that crazy? Him and Jameis Winston were 1-2 or 2-1, and they're both like, okay.
It comes and goes fast in this league, man. Super fast.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to be like that. And then we get mad. Not everybody's going to get a Drew Brees every year, a Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. And then we get mad when they take these quarterbacks so high, but you kind of have to. And then most of the time, you're aiming for Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, somebody that is really good consistently, and you wind up with Brian Tannehill. And you're just like, God damn it, this guy's not what we thought he was.
Jake Locker.
Jake Locker.
Oh, God.
If I remember right, Smith, weren't you a big Jake Locker supporter? Didn't you want him in? I thought you wanted him drafted in Minnesota.
No, that was back in the early days when the Vikings were awful. I think that season we drafted Ponder, we were like, what? What's 11? I mean, 11-5 or 5. No, we're 3-13. We were awful. I was high on Christian Ponder because I saw how athletic he was.
Oh, well, we all were.
I was super high on him. And then, then I realized later that we could have had J.J. Watt 2 picks earlier. And I was like, all right, cool. Does anybody have
I'm depressed.
Yeah, does anybody have a sturdy balcony and belt that I can use? Like, Jesus Christ, man. Christian Ponder of all.
Was Jared Allen on the team? Jared Allen would have been on the team then, right?
Yeah, he was on the team.
So we could have had Jared Allen and J.J. Watt on the same defense.
What could have been, sir?
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, balls.
Oh, that's scary, son.
It's bad. Back to these donkeys, so we can go through this game log real quick. Adam Carlson gave.
That was his 22 sack season for Jared Allen. We could have had 22 sacks from Jared Allen and fucking J.J. Watt.
Oh, he would have been like Danielle Hunter that year. He would have rotated in. He would have had double-digit sacks too.
Oh, that's disheartening to think about. I don't want to go there. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's not think about that and all the mess-ups we've had in the draft. Adam Carlson went with the offensive line, kind of like I did. We picked 2 different people. He picked Brian O'Neill. He surrendered 5 hurries on 36 pass blocking snaps. It's fair. Not his best game as a Viking, which we all like Brian O'Neill. We really do, but not his best. And the Packers were without Mike Daniels last night. That was a huge advantage too, because he's always been nasty at on their defensive line. Because he was getting worked a little bit last night. I didn't like it. I could have went with Matt Weil. Whatever. It was an all right game from pretty much everybody last night. So it's kind of hard to pick one, but the one that stood out to me, and I said in the little Vikings bar that I go to here was, well, Mike Rimmers is getting my donkey, so I'm sticking with that. We'll just stick with it and move along.
I will not argue with you.
Yeah, I'm not. I won't either. Yeah. What's next?
We'll break down the game. I'm not going to run through every team's stats. I'll go through the Vikings stats. We already went through Kirk Cousins, 29-38, 342, 3 touchdowns, no picks. QBR 75.5, rating overall 129.5. He had a great game. Good for him. Rushing attempts were better this week. We had 29 attempts. Kirk Cousins ran a little bit, which was cool. Don't want to see him get hurt, but I'm glad to see him scramble a little bit. Latavius Murray, Dalvin Cook, Cousins, Diggs, and CJ Ham all together combined for 91 yards. We
were talking pre-show. We still need to see, at least Dorian and I were, we still need to see more from the Vikings run game. At least they did a better job of getting Cook the ball in space. Yep. That makes up a little bit. You're kind of manufacturing shit a little bit when you have to do that, but you're getting the job done. We're spoiled. We got used to Adrian Peterson. Just hand the ball off. Here's AP. You'll get us a easy 100 yards a game. Easy from Adrian. So I'm still expecting that from our backs. If they expect to do anything in the playoffs, though, they've got to improve the run game. They just have to.
Yeah, I was surprised. Latavius Murray carried at 11. Dalvin Cook, 10. Tavius had 33 yards. Dalvin Cook had 29. Cousins, 17. Diggs, 12. And CJ Ham had 1 rush for nothing. But 91 yards is better than 22 from last week. Like you said, we still need to do better. They were talking about that before when I joined in. All I said was we could be better. We were on the Dalvin Cook subject on how I won't say that he's a bust. He's a little disappointing because he hasn't been on the field a lot. If the offensive line was better, obviously I think their numbers would be better, but they're going in the right direction. Like when all the Vikings fans are like, you need to run the ball more. The Vikings are like, we're going to run the ball more. You guys need to be better on the O-line. Here you go, O-line, have a better game. It's weird how those go hand in hand. Good to see them trying to get better at running. We're still like 9, I think, next to last as far as rushing in the league, which is weird. Like you were saying, we're known for AP and all that. Yeah, that's weird. Next to last in the league in rushing is not good. I don't want Kirk to have to throw it all the time. Like I said earlier, if he has to throw it a lot, he's more privy to interceptions and fumbles, and I don't want that. So we got to get the rushing attack back. Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs both caught 8 passes. Adam Thielen led the night with 125 yards and a touchdown, longest of 33. Diggs was 8 for 77, 9.6 and a touchdown. Rudolph, man, first game this year, we've seen Rudy catch a ton of balls, 7 for 7 for 63 yards. Dalvin Cook scored his first passing touchdown of his career, 3 for 47. CJ Ham, Aldrick Robinson, and Laquan Treadwell all caught a pass as well. 342 yards to the air last night with 3 touchdowns. So pretty cool. Pretty happy.
For anyone wondering, I just looked it up really quick. Adrian has 758 rushing yards on the season for Washington. 6 touchdowns. Not too bad. Not too shabby.
They have Colt McCoy at quarterback too. I suspect Adrian Peterson's going to run the ball and get 1,000 yards again this season. Very possible. What was his total, Kyle?
What did I say? 758.
758. Yeah. All right, 1,000 minus 758.
There are kids in China who already have the answer. That's dumb Americans. Got to use a calculator.
242 divided by 5. If he can average 49 yards a game for the rest of the year, which is very doable, he will go over 1,000 yards.
That's good. That helps his Hall of Fame chances. I seriously think so.
I think no lie, because of what happened with the neck injury and all that last year. He's not going to win it, but he should be a nominee if he gets over 1,000 yards for comeback player of the year.
He needed this. Like before this point, like you could kind of say that maybe he had fallen off. This is helping him prove that he's still got it in the tank, and it's helping him statistically and a bunch of other reasons. So more power to him. I'm happy for Adrian.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a perfect way to put it. Help his case. You can tell that he's not what he used to be, but he's still a very good running back. So good for him. And I think if he can just be consistent, he'll be fine. We all know how he is. He'll have a game where he has 25 yards, and the next game he'll have 125 and 2 touchdowns. So whatever. He'll get there. Fumbles and turnovers were the key for the night too. Tramon Williams muffed a punt return. We recovered by Marcus Sherrills, which set us up for good field position. Minnesota defensively, the leaders were Eric Kendricks and Sheldon Richardson with 7 total. Sheldon Richardson's stat line is amazing. 7 total tackles, 3 by himself, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 quarterback hits. Doesn't get much better than that.
I've texted my friend Jeff that I do the Shut Up I Like This podcast with. He's a Seahawks fan. I've texted him 2 or 3 times throughout the season and been like, "Thank you for Sheldon Richardson." thank you for it. He's working
Tom
out.
Johnson back.
And Tom Johnson, yeah.
Tom Johnson, exactly.
And Tom Johnson back. It's so funny. Speaking of Tom Johnson, he got a sack as well last night, so it's good to call his name. And Everson Griffin getting back in the mix, getting his feet wet. He got a sack last night too, so good for him.
I have an Everson Griffin question. I don't know if we talk about it now or.
Sure, go for it.
I've seen a couple posts and stuff from other Vikings fans saying that Everson, we might need to go ahead and restructure his contract because he's not playing up to par. That's what they're saying, not me. What's your guys' take on Everson Griffin and like his future with the Minnesota Vikings?
The fact that he's even playing is a miracle, and we don't need to worry about that kind of shit at the moment. That's just me.
I agree.
It's difficult. We still really don't know the full situation. I'm not too comfortable talking about it, at least not on air. I don't know. That will be for the Vikings and him to discuss potentially in the off season, but it's too early for any of that discussion. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean he battled through mental, so it's not anything physical. Obviously, he's kept himself in shape, and he's still playing, and we got a sack last night, so good for him. But it's too early. Without getting too deep into it, having family members who have dealt with something similar, I don't know what he's on for medication, but there's an adjustment period, right, for all of that stuff. So I think let's just leave it at the fact that he's even playing for Minnesota is amazing, and just leave it at that. Yeah, I think that's really shitty to be like, oh, we need to restructure your deal. You're not doing good. Like, hey, man, I'm still playing, and I'm playing all right, and I kind of have a lot of shit on my plate. Can you guys just support me? But that's to be expected. The comments section on the internet is my least favorite thing in the entire planet. It is hands down the worst thing about the human being race now in the first world countries, at least. The fact that we can hide behind computer screens. You could post you post an injury of Alex Smith tearing his foot up, all kinds of half, and people laugh at it on Facebook. You're the scum of the earth, and I hope bad things happen to you because that's just crazy. Hey, here's a chat funny to change the subject. Yes, please. Michael Cambria wants to know: will TJ Clemmings have a ring of honor in the future for Minnesota? Probably not. Probably going to say no on Mr. TJ Clemmings. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. I don't think so. Let's move forward and talk about this game before we wrap up the podcast today. We go to New England this Sunday. Not happy about that. Fun fact, because we only play these teams every 4 years, the last time we were in New England, Brett Favre was the quarterback for us. So, really? Yes, sir. And it was the bad year with the Vikings, so it was not good. Oh. Yeah, everybody knows, like, oh, damn it, it's that year. Right. Yeah, that was not the year to be messing around. Yeah, it was not a good game. I remember because the Patriots were those sweet throwback jerseys, the red and the white ones. Those are always awesome.
I love those.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I do too. Yes, they're throwback jerseys.
It's kind of like me being from Carolina. I've been to a bunch of Panther games. I love when the Panthers wear the all black and they just have, a little bit of blue, a little bit of silver. Those are awesome. Cool. Kind of like when the Vikings would wear the throwback jerseys. The throwback, it comes to mind because John Randall's my favorite player. John Randall style jerseys. Those are my favorite.
That's the 98.
Yeah. Yeah, those jerseys are shit.
I don't understand why we don't do something better than that. There was something recently about the Vikings messing up their uniforms this season and not taking advantage of that. But, there's really nothing we can do now. I guess that's premeditated and chosen. So, I don't know.
Here's a good question. Here's a good question for the chat room that Kyle Smith and I have talked about. We're both a big fan of college football and how college programs can change out and have all these really cool, unique jersey designs. And the NFL has really strict rules on it. And we were talking about how wouldn't it be cool if the NFL would kind of relax a little bit and let teams have more fun with jersey combinations, like black on all black Vikings jerseys with like purple highlights or whatever. Like, do you guys want to see something like that? Or are you all more like traditional in the sense of like, nah, jersey what they are and that's it? Like, I want to see more fun, cool combinations. I don't see any harm in that at all.
What do you think, Dorian?
Not at all. Like how Mr. Smith, like those jerseys that you just mentioned are 98 ones. Like I really feel like that Nike could create kind of like a mix between the past and our current jersey, something like that. Like, okay, for example, the Lakers. The Lakers have an updated version of their throwback jerseys of the 90s. That they're wearing now, but but you can tell it's a nice mix. Why can't the Vikings, or hell, not just us? Why can't any other team, have like that same type of style, alternative jersey?
I like it.
Like the Miami
NBA. Yeah. Oh, Kyle took it right out of my mouth, man. The Miami Heat are doing it this year. The Miami Heat are doing it this year. They're doing the Miami Vice stuff. Super cool.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Hell yeah,
yes.
That's
dude, it's like the coolest shit.
I mention it like every show. Like Levitard is my absolute favorite show, and they're Miami based, and they mentioned it, and I was like, cool. I'm gonna Google it. Those things are fire, man. Those are really, really cool.
Wow.
I know I'm from Charlotte. I'm a Hornets fan, and they went retro with some stuff too. And I was like, man, these are dope. I'm all for going like way the hell out there. I've seen alternate stuff with the Vikings, our stuff being purple and gold. I've seen the gold being the dominant color and the yellow. I'm down for that for one game. I'm down for all white
back in the
with purple highlights in there. I'm down with Kyle's idea of all black with purple helmets and maybe purple letters or so, or yellow letters with purple accent. I don't care. I just wish they would change it up. And you don't have to do it every single game. But let's make we have breast cancer month, military month, this and this and this. Let's have a month dedicated to where it's like, this is where we're going to change the jersey combinations. 4 games out of the month, every team's going to participate. Leave it up to your creative designers and your lab to figure out what the hell you're going to put together. Here's the theme. Go along with it. Go ham and have fun. That would be sweet.
I like it.
Scott just brought it up in the chat. So back in the day, I had an all gold Randy Moss jersey that was like a Puma jersey. When you would get them at I think I got it at like Kmart way back when Kmart was still a thing. I have an old starter Moss in that style. Yeah, so you guys know what I'm talking about. It was like all gold with like a little bit of purple on it. And the Vikings never wore like that's thing that they've ever worn, but it was really cool and I loved that jersey. So I don't know, I'd like to see more, just have more fun with it. It's a game, it's a kid's game. That's what Adam Thielen said in his post game. Like, we're out here playing a kid's game. It's fun. Just go for it.
Absolutely.
I agree.
What were we even how did we even get started on that? What were we even talking about?
I was talking about last time we played them. They had those cool jerseys.
Oh, Patriots throwbacks. Shit, that's right.
Yep. How fitting for this to talk about the Vikings and the Patriots. We have it in the notes. The Patriots have activated Rex Burkhead off of IR ahead of the Vikings game. We've seen this out of the time. They have Chris Hogan. He played like lacrosse at Dartmouth or Monmouth or whatever the hell it was. There's like, hey, random white guy, can you run fast? Cool. You're going to the Pro Bowl this year. Get your ass on the field. We'll figure it out. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cordero Patterson have a good game against us because why wouldn't he? He's on the team up there. But, I mean, that's just how the Vikings' luck would go. I don't foresee just my gut feeling of them going in and upsetting the Pats in New England, but I do think they'll keep it competitive. The Patriots have a good run game. Tom Brady is still Tom Brady. He's not the greatest on the planet anymore at the position, which is weird to say because he won the MVP last year. But and they have struggled. They lost to freaking Detroit. Who else did they lose to? The Jaguars earlier on in the year. They have 3 losses on. I forget who else they lost to. They are beatable.
Didn't Tennessee whoop their ass?
Tennessee whooped the shit out of them. That's right. They're not good on the road. Unfortunately for us, it's in their house. But we got a good defense. If Kirk can limit the mistakes and we can not turn the ball over, I think it'll be a close game. It's on Fox this Sunday at 2:25 Eastern. Or I'm sorry, 4:25 Eastern.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Fuck.
Damn it.
Do we know? I don't know. Do we know is it them or are we gonna luck out and get someone else? I don't know.
Let's look it up. You guys fill in while I look this up.
Well, we got an honorary game ball for that limbo touchdown celebration from the chat. And
God,
yes.
That was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was.
I was joking, though. I was like, if the Vikings would spend as much time in the playbook as they do coming up with touchdown celebrations, our record might be a little better this year.
That's fair. Yeah, unfortunately, the 2018 Fox NFL broadcast teams, you can get Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Aaron Andrews, Kevin Burkhardt, Charles Davis. God, I'd rather have Joe Buck and Troy Aikman than Charles Davis. Charles Davis makes me cringe. He's really, really bad, and I hate saying that, but if we were at home, we would probably have Tom Brenneman and Chris Spielman, Rick Spielman's brother.
I don't like Chris Spielman.
I'm not a big fan, but better than Charles Davis. Kenny Albert, Rondé Barber. God, these guys are – Fox, your broadcast team sucks. Rondé Barber, Charles Davis, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Chris Spielman. There's Chris Myers, Daryl Johnson, and Laura Oakman. And the last is Dick Stockton, Mark Schlereth, and Jennifer Hill. I like Mark Schlereth, but that's about it. Schlereth. Yeah, the Fox NFL broadcast team is trash.
Rondé Barber's not that bad.
I don't like him.
He's better than the bunch that you just named. I mean, besides Mark Schlereth, I'm just saying, like, I don't cringe with Rondé Barber. Like, Rondé Barber does, like, seem to know what he's talking about when it comes to football.
Dude, there's all this technology. Why can't I just pay to have the K-Fan broadcast? Like, how come that's not a thing? Like, I can't
awesome, right?
I can't just pay to fucking listen to Paul Allen instead? Why is that not a thing?
If it was like a subscription, I'd pay for that shit, like monthly.
Yeah.
Or during the course of the football season, you're like, yeah. No, you're absolutely right, man. That would be awesome. Oh, whatever.
Smith, you look deep in thought.
No. I was just looking around for this. You got to pick your poison, man. I really like Tony Romo and what he's doing. Jason Witten's awful at it. I can't stand him. That's just me personally. And then you have the Monday crew. You always have a certain Monday crew. You always have Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels doing the Sunday night game. So they're set. I really miss John Gruden. God, fuck, man. I wish that he wasn't coaching because he was awesome. He sucks at coaching now. But, yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. We'll see. I'm trying to figure out – this is just Fox naming their broadcast teams. It doesn't have a game-by-game. But I'll try to look for it.
Here's what I want to know. Fox does employ some people who were more interesting than the names that you just named. Why can't they have, like, Colin Cowherd or someone do commentary for a game? I know maybe you don't like him, but he's more entertaining than Rondé Barber. I mean, come on.
I don't know. Maybe he's just not good at it. That's just my thought. And I'm being serious. I'm not saying that just because I don't like him because I think he sucks at his job. Maybe he's just not good at it. I know that some of the guys will jump in and like I love Pat McAfee. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ever want to be entertained, listen to Pat McAfee talk.
His podcast.
He is amazing. Yes, he got to commentate for like boxing, and I think he did a college game or something recently. But it's just something that you have to kind of ease into.
Well, here's the thing. He did like a WrestleMania pre-show, right, Dorian?
Yeah, he's with WWE. He's I think he's on the pre-show for NXT, I believe.
But that's so different than doing a podcast. Joe Rogan talks about this too. On a podcast, you can say whatever the fuck you want to. And when you do like a pre-show, you have to talk about what they want to talk about. And you can't say whatever the fuck you want to, and you can't be funny. And it's just a different kind of animal for him. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I had the announcing scheduled for last. Damn it, I can't find this.
Scott Schwab in the chat says, "I want Kay Adams to announce for me over Skype with those lips glossed."
She's so attractive, man. She's absolutely amazing.
Next week's social media question: Katie Nolan or Kay Adams?
Katie Nolan, hands down. You guys can have Kay Adams. There's no debate. She is my number one of all number ones. She's perfect.
No, Katie Nolan's cool as shit. And like on top of her being beautiful, she knows what the hell she's talking about. She's knowledgeable. And
yes.
And she's personable. Like I guess, Kyle, she has all the requirements, right? She's just checked off yeah.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this, man. When you're younger, when you're 18 years old, you go for the hottest girl in the club, the bar, whatever place you're at. You always go for the one. Maybe she's busty. Maybe she's got a pretty face. She's got a nice butt, whatever. As time goes on, that stuff matters to you, but you also have to look and have to have some depth. That person's got to have depth in their personality. When I saw this girl shotgun a beer every quarter-mile lap and do the beer mile, and then she went to a Mets game and tried to do 9 hot dogs and 9 beers in 9 innings, I knew that was the one. That it was the one I had to have, or someone like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's super pretty and attractive and all that fun stuff, but she loves sports and she does all those funny, cool things. She's one of those. I saw a meme recently. It was like, don't go for the prettiest girl at the party. Go for the one that's screaming at the beer pong table because she's going to raise winners. And I died because that's accurate. All right. It's pretty funny. But yeah, you guys can have Kay Adams. I love Kay Adams. She's one of the highlights on Instagram. Super attractive. But Katie Nolan is bae for life. When she gets married, I'm going to be super pissed. Super, super pissed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We went over everything, though. We got the game coming up. Sorry, I can't find these announcers for you guys. I'm trying to look at it, but Google's not giving me anything.
Nah, it's
going to be an afternoon game.
What do you think, win or loss? I'm going to make you guys pick at this point.
I don't know, man. It depends on who shows up. If we play like we did against the Bears, we're going to lose. If we don't give the ball away, I think we have a solid chance of figuring out a win. With Thielen and Diggs, Cook looks to be back and in good form. The defense is roaring. I think it's basic shit that we say every week. If we don't turn the ball over and we can rush Tom Brady, we have to be Tennessee for a week. If we can do what the Titans did, we'll be fine. And I think we have a defense to match. If Marcus Mariota can go in and beat the Patriots, there's no reason why we can't. We just have to do certain things to get there.
Have the Patriots lost at home this season?
Oh, probably not. I'll look it up. Fill in some time for me again, sir.
I don't think that the Patriots have lost this season. I'm going to get us a thumbs down on this podcast. I don't think Minnesota is going to go into New England and win. No. I don't know. I hate to be that guy.
They lost in Jacksonville. They lost in Detroit, and recently
they lost in Jacksonville. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was earlier on in the season, though.
Okay.
Yeah, their defense they absolutely obliterated them. And fun fact, losing to the Titans and the Lions, Bill Belichick lost to former assistants in bad fashion too. There's a 24-point loss and then a 16-point loss. 26-10 loss to the Lions, 34-10 against Mike Vrabel and the Titans. So no, they have not lost at home.
Boy, it makes it really tough for me to try to pick the Vikings. Even though you guys know that we're pulling for them every week, we of course want to see the win. But I'm just saying, if I had to throw a $20 bill down on the table right now, I'd probably pick New England. What do you say, Dorian?
I say that we can win this game.
And awesome, thank you. Thank you for saving grace for us.
Well, I'm just saying, but plus it's crucial for us, like our remaining schedule. We have to kind of win out. We do. We have to win out just to secure our spot. You know what I'm saying? A spot in the playoffs. But I'm not. It's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. I'm okay. Tom Brady, give all the respect. The man, he's done his thing, and he's fucking legendary. But I'm not scared of Tom Brady. Like our defense, okay. The same going back, Kyle. You referenced their game against Jacksonville. Jacksonville has an awesome fucking defense, and you saw what they did to Tom Brady. So why can't we, our defense do the same to Tom Brady? If we rattle Tom Brady is a human just like we are, just like the rest of us. He puts his one leg in at a time, we put it in his pants. So if we rattle Tom Brady, our defense can't rattle him, and I think our offense could do just enough, whatever, to get by. I think we can win this game. I'm confident that we can win this game.
Yeah, we need a big game. Do everything like we did last night. Don't turn the ball over, play smart, and don't give up big ass plays. But the key to the whole game is a tie for me. Don't turn the ball over and pressure Tom Brady. That's it. That's all you have to do. I know they're the Patriots are scary, but I'll take even the Panthers from last year. The Panthers were all right. They got to the wild card and lost to the Saints, but they went in New England last year, and they straight up went blow for blow with the Pats and beat them last year. They're beatable. It's just really fucking hard, and it's going to be December. They have a super good record at home in December between Brady and Belichick. So
do me a favor and don't kick it to Cordero Patterson.
No, that'll go. It'll be a touchback every time.
Yeah.
I think if one thing can be emphasized from Mike Zimmer to the special teams is, hey, this guy's pretty good for us. I know because he was here when I drafted him. Yeah, don't let him shine there.
Yeah.
That's all I got, though. That's pretty much it for the week. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for throwing in suggestions. Thanks for sticking with us this long. We're over here just rambling about nothing for an hour and a half. But good win. I think we pretty much ended the Packers' playoff hopes, and we kept ours solidly alive. So good win last night. Let's see what we do in New England. This is going to be the hardest game of the season so far. So we'll see.
A win in New England is always a statement, regardless of whatever you think about Tom Brady and what stage of the career he's in and whatever else is going on in the season. You can make a statement where you can say, don't worry about what we've done before. We're here now. And I think that is what Minnesota has to focus on doing.
We're going to win this football game. Bold statement. Boom.
I like it, Dorian. But let's see here before we wrap.
We need to get rid of this dead air. So, Mr. Smith, your dog is awesome.
Yeah,
look at him back there. He's a lazy potato, man. I love him. For me, I'm gonna come check out. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kyle.
I was just going to say, I'm going to plug my podcast really quick, my other podcast. Go check out Shut Up, I Like This over on YouTube. Jeff and I just I know this sounds dumb, but we actually use a green screen. And so we went through and we redid all the lighting, and it looks phenomenal. That'll be coming up on the Watchmen episode that we just did. So we've got some cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So if you like movies, go check it out. We post a new episode every Monday at about noon is when it's scheduled to come up. So we're over on YouTube. Shut Up, I Like This. Go check it out.
I love it, man. I just looked at Adam Carlson. He's seeing the Trailer Park Boys live. That's great, man. That's super funny. It's super good show. For me, I'm in a Metallica tribute band here in El Paso. My time is dwindling down. We've got about 3 weeks left in this cool little part of the country. We got 3 more shows before I leave in 3 weeks. It's crazy. We just booked one this Friday. We're going to be doing about an hour set. Some of my guys are in a Sublime tribute as well, so we're going to be opening for them. We're going to do all the hits this week. So if you guys want, come out and check us out. If you can't make it to El Paso, which I understand, go to YouTube, look up Disposable Ink, INC with a dot. You'll see some videos up there from some of our previous shows that are really good. I say it every week. We play the Black Album, stuff from Master of Puppets. That Was Just Your Life from Death Magnetic. We play stuff from Ride the Lightning. Yeah, we play a bunch of songs, man. We've almost got Master of Puppets and the Black Album down, all pretty much everything from there. It's like 5 out of 8 for Master of Puppets and the whole Black Album. So if you like El Paso, or if you like Metallica and you're in El Paso, hit me up. I'll get you into wherever we're playing. Obviously, we can say you're with the band or whatever. You can come in and check us out for free. But yeah, we're going to be playing a lot more before I head out of here. So that'd be cool if you could give that page a like. Facebook, YouTube, Disposable Ink.
Well, I don't do shit.
Got any final thoughts for us, Dorian?
I don't do shit but just watch wrestling and then complain about the wrestling that I watch. So.
No, but I am waiting for Jeff to finish up doing an intro file for me for my other podcast. I've got 3 fucking podcasts. But I'll get, you can expect a lot more wrestling stuff from Dorian and I as soon as we get that going. I know we've been talking about some stuff in the pipeline for a while now, and shit keeps happening that I want to talk about, but I'm kind of stuck waiting for him to get this done at the moment. But you can look for that coming soon, hopefully soon, too.
Hell yeah, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to steal I'm going to steal Adam Carlson's sign-off line. Thank you to everyone for checking out the YouTube channel. If you didn't subscribe to it today, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, the little bell notification, turn that on, and it'll tell you at any point in time on your device or on your laptop, hey, we're going live. You can jump in and join the chat. I have it. It went off when we went on. I'm sure everybody can hear it when we replay the video back. Go on Twitter and like our stuff at Purple People Pod. Purple People Podcast on Instagram. I run the Instagram page for us, trying to get on all the social media outlets. And obviously we're on Facebook. That's our biggest one. Just go to your search bar and type in Purple People Podcast. If you could give us a like, or even better, if you already like it, and like us on Facebook, share our stuff to all your Viking fan friends, and we'll just get that snowball effect. Maybe you'll help one person, they'll like us, and they'll do the favor later on. So we really appreciate it. I didn't know. I thought you were laughing, Kyle. I thought you were going to throw something in there for us.
No, Scott just tweeted me a thing from our chat room about my other podcast where he took a really funny screenshot of Jeff and I.
Nice.
I'll have to send it to you guys. I'll have to send it to you guys in the chat after we get done off the air. And remind everyone to stay classy in Minnesota.